Welcome to Sensible Secondhand Classics, the series where we look at practical and sensible cars which you can buy for a budget between £1,000 and £5,000 that are over 15 years old. Or at least, normally we look at very practical cars. This 1987 Porsche 924S is maybe not the most practical car in the world. But is it any good? Should you care? Let's find out, shall we? So the 924S was the sort of ultimate version of the 924, introduced in 1985 for the 86 model year. It came about because the 2-litre Volkswagen Audi engine that had been used in the majority of 924s up to that point was actually being phased out, and they weren't building the blocks anymore. So what Porsche decided to do was to put their own 2.5-litre engine from a 944 and a 924, and also replace the suspension with 944 suspension. Initially it produced in region 148 horsepower. This is a later car, and the figures quoted, I've either seen 158 or 160 depending on the source. 0 to 60 is about 8 seconds, and I can certainly believe that. Very, very low car to the ground, exceptionally good stability, especially with the gearbox being in the back on a transaxle. Brakes seem very good. Once you're actually in the car, I mean, it is a bit strong to get in. It's absolutely fine. When the car was launched in 1976, the engine was the 2-litre Volkswagen Audi unit with 123 horsepower. Then a bit later on, the turbo came out, around I think 79, I think it was about the turbo, which had a dogleg 5-speed manual and about 170 horsepower, and later 177 horsepower. It is really actually quite nice. The steering is delightful. It has plenty of power. It feels very, very torquey, this engine. It's a delight to drive on these little country roads in Buckinghamshire. Let's put round this corner, there we go. Oh yes. Oh yes, viewers. Wow, viewers, what an absolute treat we have here. A 1987 Porsche 924S, former press car. If you can believe it, that's the actual plate the car came with. It was on a private plate originally. This isn't it. This is the original number. It was allocated in 1987. Someone, presumably at the DVL office near where Porsche were based in London, probably had friends in high places to actually get that plate to stay on the car. S model was the later version of the 924, introduced about 1985 and continued until 1988. This is an 88 model year car, registered in late 1987, and it actually appeared in a magazine shoot for the November issue of, I think it was Autocar. We'll have a look in a second. I've got the magazine here with me, so I'll be telling you that it's certain. Very nice in Guards Red. This car's been painted actually several times. Originally it was all pink when Martin, who is an absolute Porsche enthusiast, got it. And it is, to my eyes, absolutely perfect. There is nothing wrong with it at all. That is the standard exhaust on the back. I've actually got a piece of paper here which tells me what options this car had. So standard, it was £21,000. It has a sports group option pack installed with the M030 sport suspension. There was also an M474 sport suspension pack which had adjustable suspension, I think on the back of it, and then we've also got other options on here. We've got a cloth door panels, tinted windscreen at the top, detachable sunroof, which is a pain because you'll put it in a bag in the boot. Power steering was actually included in 1987 model cars, but not before that. It was an option before that, which is incredible, really. A split rear seats and the canvas rear luggage cover, and the Panasonic stereo is actually standard. So yeah, quite an expensive car. The equivalent today for the base price of £21,000 would be about £58,000. So a very, very expensive car indeed at the time, and this is the entry-level Porsche. So very handsome design, originally commissioned by Volkswagen for them, and then later on they changed their mind and said to Porsche, well, we can't really afford to launch this car. Would you like the design back? So Porsche bought the design back, and then they launched it themselves to replace the 912E and the 914 in 1976. I have driven a 924 with a 2-litre engine before, which has a Volkswagen Audi engine. Drove that in 2022. This has the later 2.5 litre. It's actually the ultimate version, which has close on 160 horsepower, as opposed to 123 horsepower in the 2-litre. One of the things you'll notice with this car is the Volkswagen design influences, such as the left-hand drive wipers, which is not a mistake. This is how they all came. And also, if we start looking on the car on the outside, that's a Mark 1 Golf door handle, and we'll see tons of other VAG bits in here. So this car is absolutely immaculate. I'm really privileged to be able to drive an example like this. I think it's a Mark 1 Golf door handle inside there. Electric running switches, they're strange because it's not immediately obvious which is the front and which is the left, which is the right-hand one. Handbrake is down there, which is interesting. I asked Martin why it was down there. Nobody seems to know why the handbrake's down there, but it just is. I have to be careful to keep this door open. It's quite low on here, so he's put this kick plate down there because if it wasn't there, you'd be removing the paint every single time you got in and out of the car, which is less than ideal. Gosh, it's tight in here. Wow. It's very comfortable once you're in, but it is a bit tight getting in and out. So, spot the Volkswagen parts bin stuff. These heating ventilation controls, they look very similar to something like a Mark II Polo. They're not exactly the same, they look similar. These stalks, though, are I think, exactly the same as a Mark II Polo. On the earlier models, ones with 2-litre, rev counter didn't go up. It went up a lot further, actually. This only goes up to 6,000 RPM, this 2.5. And mileage, I can't remember if this is genuine or not. I've got the sort of information here which tells me, but this history on this car is crazy. There's a whole wad of history with this. So we've got speedo in the middle, which is good because that's what we need. Then the auxiliary gauges are down here with the oil pressure. Then we've got the clock and the voltmeter down there. There's the engine temperature and the fuel gauge. Standard Panasonic stereo. You could get a Blaupunkt as an option. There's the control for the sunroof. That is the mirror control, which is crazy. Headlamp washers. Then that's the rear wiper down there, that tiny little thing. So if you're on a dark night in November, trying to find that's going to be difficult. Light control is just here, which again looks like a Volkswagen part. I don't know if it is. Yeah, I don't think the steering wheel actually goes anywhere. So it's not necessarily the best driving position in the world. Also, I've just realised if it doesn't move, I can't see the dials properly from where I'm sitting, so I might have adjust that. 5-speed manual in this. There were other gearboxes available earlier on, such as a 4-speed and a dogleg 5-speed, and the car built between I think 79 and 1980, and also the turbo model had the dogleg 4-speed. This is really weird as well. But this looks like an aftermarket thing, but that's actually a genuine badge for the glove box. You can open it like this. I don't think get the supermission dogs in today. I can actually do that because the last 94 I filmed in 2022, I tested it and you can get them in. So there we go. Because you can't put them into that door pocket there. That's a pretty useless door pocket. Fortunately, we've got other storage in here as well. We've got ashtray down here. This is nice. And then we've got this amazing thing here, which I love. I can get this open. There we go. Oh, yes, viewers. Cassette storage solution. Yes. Oh, the doors. The best of the doors. Come on, baby, light my fire. Excellent views. We'll listen to that at some point. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. The very best of Mamas and Papas, Stranglers, Specials. Brilliant. Impressive views. So we've got the sunroof up here. I'm not going to touch it, viewers. Not only because it's an old car, but also if you want to actually more than tilt the sunroof, you want to slide it back, you've got to remove the entire thing. There's a bag in the boot for actually doing that, which we won't do today, viewers, because that will take a long time. What I will do, because Mr. Manning from the Matty's Cars channel dictates I do, I'm going to have to try to get in the back. It's not going to be a good experience for me, but we shall have to do it because Mr. Manning dictates that I do. Okay, viewers, here we go. Gosh, no. Mr. Manning, why do you do this to me? Ouch! Oh, Mr. Manning. I'm not getting in here, am I? It's not happening. No, it's not happening. Split fold seats are in here, but that wasn't actually an option. Can you believe how mean that was? And power steering is an option until 1987. Anyway, let's get out of here. I don't like it in here, viewers. You need no legs at all to actually fit in the back, and I have legs, so I do not fit. Right, viewers, you've popped the boot. Now, the luggage space is a bit weird in this car because the gearbox is actually at the back, like a Volvo 340. So the boot floor is really high. Now, you can put extra stuff in the sides down here. There we go. And this side. There you are. You put things in there, but the actual metal is here. Spare lives here. This is a bag for the sunroof. You should actually physically mantle the sunroof off, and then you have to put it in the bag. If you want to slide it back, you do it yourself, put it in the bag. I'm not doing that today, viewers. You also see we've got this luggage cover here, which in this particular car, unlike the last one I filmed, is actually properly sort of tensioned. That's for covering that up, which now looks like it makes a lot more sense. But it's not a ton of room really for anything tall. It's wide, but also we've got this big sill and something very special. It says Porsche on the spoiler like that. Why you need that? Because it says Porsche here as well. I don't know, viewers. Answer the comment section below. But do we just take in how immaculate this car is? And yeah, that is a standard exhaust, by the way. That's how it should look with these telly dials. I like it very much, viewers. And also, we've got rear wiper action too. There we go. Rear wiper action, and it goes through the screen. I mean, one of the reasons if there's a bag for the sunroof is that you might damage it if you don't have the bag. So, how much is a bag, he said? I wonder. Also got replica dealer plates on here. At the time, there was only one Porsche dealer in the country, and it was AFN in Isleworth. So we've got replica plates on that for that. The level of detail on this is just absolutely extraordinary. Anyway, I better stop whittering on, and let's have a look under the bonnet. Again, immaculate under here. So, 2.5 4-cylinder shed with the 944 at the time, generating about 158 horsepower. Cam belt is on the front here. It doesn't actually look that easy to get to it, unfortunately, but it needs to be done if you want to maintain your 924S to the highest standard. Remote brake servo here. Power steering reservoir from ZF. Looks like everything else, doesn't it? And then pop-up headlamps. We'll get some pop-up headlamp action in a bit, viewers. We'll just we'll go and make those open because, of course, well, yeah, we must do that. It's the law. Anyway, I will just show that. There we go. And we will have a look at some more paperwork, and then we'll go for a little spin again. So, as you can see here, we've got the Autocar edition from November 1987, which this car appears. Look at that brochure in a second as well. This is outside Stringfellows here. We think this is this actual car. Very amusing article, we haven't got time to read that. We've also got another article here with, we think this is a different car because this car's not got split folding seats and this has, so it's an option. So there you go, 0 to 60 in 8 seconds. Price £21,000 and 31 pounds at the top. 134 miles an hour, not to 8.8 seconds. Miles per gallon is 22.6. Performance, fit and finish, steering and price. Steering, eh? Drivers over 6 foot will have problems reading all the instruments. Also have to suspend a non-adjustable steering column is set too low. Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely the case. Loads and loads of nice data in here. Is auto car over time. Black and white for some reason here. Fixed steering wheel is awkward. Yeah, rear seats are not the best. You can see here we've got all things. You can get an automatic one as well, a 3-speed auto in these. BHP we put on 160. I think that's maybe a PS figure. I don't know. There we go. Electric windows, tinted glass, power steering was standard and tested in 4th of November 87. So we'll also look at this. If we've got a certificate of production there. This is an 86 brochure. Priceless, so it's slightly different, but as you can see, the 94S in December 86 was listed at 18,464. Why they had to put the price up again, I don't know, for so much. And the automatic was a little bit more. There's all the things you could get with it, all these options. Look at all these options, it's crazy. And then with the 944, it was actually quite a lot more. The base model, which is the Lux, was £23,000, and that was about 18. So it's about £5,000 more, which is a heck of a lot of money for 1987. And then you could get the 944S as well, and then there's a turbo as well. So a lot more of the 944 range, and then there's the 911 as well. And do we have a turbo in here as well? Yes, we got the 3.3 turbo. Anyway, there we go. So that's quite enough about that. That was a lot more than I was expecting to say about this car. Better get up another drive, viewers. It's actually not as difficult to turn around this car as I thought it would be. It seems to be a little bit easier than that. Can easily do quite a long journey in this car. The only thing is, because we've got this M030 suspension kit on here, it's a little bit further than I was expecting. The standard 94S did have different suspension from the earlier 2-litre 94. So maybe it was a bit further. This, to me, I prefer slightly more comfortable suspension. Of course, this being a press car, all these things are loaded onto it, so they decided to go for that £735 option pack. It pulls really, really well. I mean, what I'd like to try against this is a Mitsubishi Starion, which I'm sure the design of which was inspired by the 924 and 944, with the 2.6 litre engine, I think it is. But on these rural roads in Buckinghamshire, this is an absolute delight. It does need some new engine mounts for this car, which is why we've got a bit more vibration than we otherwise would do. Other than that, it is in superb condition, and I am a privileged man to be able to drive something like this, which in this sort of condition and with this sort of pedigree, mere mortals don't necessarily get to touch most of the time. So what do I think of this 924S? Well, because the previous test drive I had of the 2-litre 924 in 2022 was so limited around the streets of Edinburgh, it's a delight to be able to drive this on proper roads. And it makes brilliant noise. Steering is brilliant. I don't know why the autocar journalists said the steering wasn't very good. I like the steering. Obviously the power assistance is much better with no power assistance. But the biggest problem is getting in and out of the car and kind of some practicality issues. But these over aren't that expensive. I mean, a nice 94S, I mean, this is a bit more than this, but nice 94S is maybe £7,000 to £8,000. 2-litre, 45. The last one I drove, I mean, bought for £4,000. So if you want your value for money Porsche experience, this is a good way into it. years and years ago, of course, on Wheeler Dealers. They bought a 924 from about 1983 for £500 and did it up and sold it for about £1,000 in 2003. So prices have risen since then. But you know, I can understand why this is a very good entry level way into a Porsche if you don't want a Boxster. Thank you very much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment below. We shall see you again soon for some more reasonably priced nostalgic motoring.